JSB Talks Digital.
Hello and welcome to JSB Talks Digital, the podcast for marketers, small business owners, and those of you bringing your skills into the digital age. I'm Joanne Sweeney-Burke, and this podcast is brought to you by Digital Training Institute. Coming up in today's show, Twitter launches Dashboard, Snapchat introduces Memories, live video streaming on multiple platforms is dominating influencer conversations. I speak to Marie Collins, founder of DigiPulse Marketing. My shoutouts, Kat Hogan, author of They All Fall Down. Sap and Brian Fanzo host a week-long series of Facebook live shows. And Bluebird Care launched their new home care webinar series. My featured column, Just Do Your Own Thing Online. And meet Edgar, the social media tool that saved my working week.
Social media news.
The social networks are really moving at speed these days, with almost weekly feature updates as they compete for our time. Because, my friends, time spent on social networks equals money from advertising revenue. Twitter has launched Dashboard, a management tool aimed at small businesses. While most of us in marketing already use some sort of social media management tool, it probably explains why we were less than impressed by Dashboard. But we are not the main target audience. Twitter describes Dashboard as a place to get things done. It gives business owners a clear picture of what's being said about their businesses, lets them schedule tweets, and offers insights about their tweet performance. I've written a detailed blog post on Twitter Dashboard, which you can read at digitaltraining.ie. Snapchat has introduced a great new feature called Memories, but some commentators think it might take the raw out of the real. The most frequently asked question during my Snapchat training programs is, can I add my own photos or videos to my Snapchat story? The answer I used to give was no. However, now it's yes. Memories let you save snaps and stories inside Snapchat, edit them, and then send them out again. You can still save snaps and stories to your camera roll, but the tools inside Memories will give you a chance to edit your old stuff and push it out again. You'll even be able to combine that stuff with photos and videos from your camera roll. Snapchat has also introduced password-protected snaps called My Eyes Only. With this feature, you can hand over your phone without fear that your friends will see photos or videos that are for your eyes only. Be sure to read my blog post on these new features from Snapchat at digitaltraining.ie. Live video streaming on multiple platforms is dominating influencer conversations right now across the social web. Live video is hot in social marketing. We are all very well aware of that. However, recently, social media influencers have been getting hot and bothered about how to stream live video on multiple platforms at the same time. Ian Cleary reminded us that a single view on YouTube is recorded when somebody watches for more than 30 seconds, while on Facebook a view is just 3 seconds. A key bit of information that we should all be mindful of. Brian Fanzo is getting to grips with live streaming on multiple platforms as he ventures more deeply into this side of social marketing. Joel Comm is experimenting lots too, and his Facebook group Live Video Marketing is a great resource, so why not join? It's free. There are a number of software products on the market to achieve simultaneous live broadcasting, but I highly recommend taking a trial of these products before purchasing. OBS Studio is a free piece of software which allows you to broadcast on Facebook Live, on your Facebook page, groups or profile, and from your desktop. Wirecast is a paid-for software starting at $495, but by all accounts it is much more robust than OBS Studio for live streaming on multiple platforms. Ian Anderson Gray has written 2 great blog posts on how to use OBS Studio and Wirecast, and I'll share those on my blog. Will you live stream across multiple platforms to reach a greater audience? I'd love if you would share your experiences with me at Tweets by JSB.
Interview.
In today's show, I'm joined by Marie Collins, founder of DigiPulse Marketing, based on the Cork-Kerry border in the southwest of Ireland. But officially, Marie is a Cork woman. DigiPulse Marketing is a digital marketing consultancy and training company for micro businesses. Marie, you are very welcome to JSB Talks Digital. Thanks a million for joining me.
Oh, hello, Joanne. I'm delighted to be here with you. Thanks for asking me.
So we met back at Social Media Summit Ireland earlier this year. But tell the listeners a little bit about your background. You worked primarily in small businesses.
I did. I worked in small businesses really all my working life in the Cork-Kerry area. So I have a very good kind of understanding of how they operate and what their challenges are and that sort of thing.
So I believe you set up your very first Twitter account in 2010. Was there much evidence of digital marketing almost a decade ago?
I suppose some of the bigger companies had digital presence at that stage, but like you imagine, we didn't even have smartphones, this time 10 years ago, say. They came out in 2007, I think. So it was really from there on that the social networks and the mobile environment took off, I suppose. And as you say, it was in 2010 then that I was actually given my first Twitter account and told, off you go. So I was very wary of it, I must admit, because I didn't have a Twitter account of my own and I had to go and learn it. And I made plenty of mistakes, I can assure you, Joanne. So from there then I got some other platforms online such as email marketing, and I got a website, an e-commerce site and an eBay shop, and of course Facebook pages and things like that. So it was a baptism of fire really. I had to learn as I went.
Well, there's nothing like making mistakes for the greatest learning, is there?
There you go.
So you also upskilled not only professionally by actually doing it, you also upskilled academically.
I did. In 2014 then I decided to go back to college and I suppose pin down my knowledge, and I got a level 8 in CIT in digital marketing. Now it was a spanking new course at the time, out of the box, just built by CIT in Cork. So I was in the first wave of digital marketers that came out at level 8, and it was a great course, and I believe that they're now building the masters follow-on to that. So I'd be interested to read that when it's announced.
So maybe more studying then, Marie?
Oh dear, yeah. I mean, I love learning, I must say that, but it's the assignments that throw me a little bit. It's the time, I suppose. I love continually learning, and I think you need to really, especially in what we're doing, the two of us.
And aside from your digital marketing skills, which you're always honing day in, day out, and I see that on your own platforms as you teach others, you're also an accomplished community manager. What do you like so much about taking on this type of role for small companies?
I think community is very valuable online. There's two examples I'll give you. There was one guy I was listening to on Blab, and he said back in the day he had 10,000 followers on MySpace. So MySpace is now gone, and his 10,000 followers are also gone. And I was listening to another girl. She was on Meerkat, and I think she had a big following as well on Meerkat. And as we know, Meerkat is now also gone. And she was lamenting the fact that she hadn't turned them into email subscribers or anything, So she's on Periscope and Snapchat now, and she's going to mend her ways, she's promising. But I think community it's your community as a business or brand should follow you no matter where you are if you build your community well. So I think there's a great value in having that little a band of marketers for you in the background, because they help to market your business. And hello, you're not paying anything to them to retweet your stuff and to maybe pin your blog and so on, or recommend your YouTube video. So I think there's a great value in building a community, because they are your brand advocates at the end of the day, and they'll come with you no matter what the platform is.
They are two great case studies and examples for us all to think about. I often lament the fact that JSB is jumping from digital platform to digital platform, and you can see me almost everywhere, and I wonder sometimes, should I just choose one and stick with it? But you've kind of given me new food for thought on that, and I agree wholeheartedly. Building your community right across the social web and pulling them into your own website is absolutely key. Let's talk about the struggles of small business owners then in relation to social media and digital marketing. From your experience working with them day in, day out, do you think it's just money that's the issue, or is it a bigger mindset challenge in that they believe that perhaps social or digital isn't for them?
It's both. I find that money is definitely a challenge, and resources and skills are a challenge. Because if you're a florist in a small town in Ireland, that's what you're good at. And that's what your day should be about, because that's what you're skilled in. And then they find it very hard to adopt a platform and try and learn it, and even just to have the time to do it and to do it well. But there is, as you say, a bigger mindset in some of the rural areas where I work, and probably in the older demographic as well. To adopt digital and to understand the value of it, and to understand why behaviours online have changed in the last 10 years.
So you're taking your knowledge and your skills to Dublin later in the year. You're hosting a workshop at the Women's Inspire Network conference on online visual marketing. What should we expect? I love visual marketing.
Yeah, I do too. I think they say a picture paints 1,000 words. But I could change that around and say a picture captures 1,000 pairs of eyes if done properly online. So what you can expect on the day is tips about having the right blog image sizes for social sharing. I'm going to give some tools that I use all the time and some tricks that you can implement to get eyes on your content, and about quality and about colour, and about design. And I'm not a graphic designer by any means, and I'm not trained graphically. But I do know that a good visual can sell your blog or your product better than a poorly put together one.
Fantastic. I can't wait for it. So finally, Marie, what top 3 tips would you give small businesses to ignite their digital marketing presence?
Interesting. So I think one thing I would say to people is to serve up the same kind of quality online as you do in your business. So if you're a florist or a restaurant in the Cork Kerry area or anywhere else indeed, you will serve up the nicest bunch of flowers or the nicest plate of food presented beautifully. And I would be saying, do that as well online, and take the time to do it right and present it well. And, shy away really from the attitude of, we'll just throw anything up just to put something there. So think about the posts that you put up, and the blog posts and everything that you put on various platforms. Number 2, I think a great one for small businesses is to get yourself on Google My Business. So a lot of the businesses that I work with don't have a website, so this is their one time then to talk to Google. And Google allows everybody to have a presence on Google My Business. So you can have your correct opening hours on there, you can have eye-catching photographs, and you can have a phone number, obviously the correct phone number, and your location on the map. And make sure you get onto Google My Business and get verified there. And tip number 3 is really just educate yourself on digital as a business owner, because it's not going anywhere. So understand what it can do for your business, and there's loads of resources online, even your own podcast here, Joanne. And you can go on webinars, read blogs, look at videos on YouTube and all sorts of other places, completely free to upskill yourself. Join groups on Facebook as well as another one. And to get an understanding of the online environment for your business. Brilliant. So they're my 3 tips.
They're fantastic. I couldn't have even said them better myself. Marie, thank you so much for coming on JSB Talks Digital. If you want to find out more about DigiPulse Marketing, log on to digipulse.ie. You can also follow them on Twitter at digipulse_IE.
Shoutouts.
In this part of the show, I give shoutouts to those who are remarkable online and worth talking about. My first shoutout goes to Brian Fanzo, who is really leading the social media pack when it comes to live streaming. Not only has he set up a new venture called Summit Live with Ryan Bell, check out the Summit Live Facebook page, but he has hosted a week-long Facebook Live series for SAP, the software company. Brian did a takeover of the SAP Facebook page and broadcast daily Facebook Live shows. This is a great content hack for any business. My next shout out goes to my client Bluebird Care, who launched a new home care webinar series. They are also launching a new podcast soon. Both channels will be used to educate a broad range of stakeholders about home care and what's involved in bringing care home. With an ageing population in Ireland, more and more people want to remain at home, and now it's possible with nurse-led services such as Bluebird Cares. Remember, there has never been a more remarkable time to be remarkable online, so consider all opportunities to talk to your audiences. Finally, I'd like to give a big shout out to Kat Hogan, who has published her debut novel, They All Fall Down. I attended her book launch in Dublin, and it was great to meet so many of our mutual social media friends there in real life. Kat has embraced social media to help promote her book, so do me a favour and check out #TheyAllFallDown on Twitter. Her book design is beautiful. I'm completely in love with it. They All Fall Down is a fiction novel inspired by her late dad's role as a lighthouse keeper. The publishers Poolbeg describe it as a cocktail of emotional rollercoaster and psychological thriller, exploring the depths of flawed human nature, the thin line between love and obsession, and the destructive nature of addiction. So, if you are an author, don't underestimate the power of social media to help you tell the story of your book to a larger audience. Your publisher will also love you for it. I will have Kat on my podcast soon to talk about how to promote your book on social media. So listen out for that.
JSB's column.
Just do your own thing online. It's very easy to get stressed by being impressed by your social media colleagues' antics online. As social marketers, we are under pressure to be creative every day, to be visible on nearly every social network, and to reach engagement levels that double month on month. There's just so much to do. Your Facebook profile, Facebook groups, Facebook pages, Facebook Live, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn company page, LinkedIn groups, Pinterest, Periscope, blogging, email marketing, podcasting, webinars, SlideShare. It just goes on and on. Dear, oh dear, it's a minefield, and yes, it does play with your mind. So how can we keep up? How do we ensure we remain consistent in our content standards, frequency and creativity? Well, I've been thinking about this a lot. It seems Joel Comm has the same challenge. He said as much in an email to me and his community this week. I have a content calendar, which keeps me focused, but it also means that on every day of the month I am sharing content. Here's what it looks like. Daily social media updates, twice weekly blog posts, weekly e-zine to my community, weekly podcast, weekly Facebook Live, weekly YouTube video, monthly webinar, monthly guest blog posts. That's a lot of original content. But the one thing that I do, and which keeps me focused, is that I am just being myself online. I write, produce, publish and broadcast what works for me. Content and platforms that I am comfortable with and which play to my strengths. I love writing and talking and sharing and educating, but it's also a key part of my business. I also love watching, following, reading, subscribing, downloading, commenting and sharing other influencers' content. I learn from them, but I also realise that they do their things their way, and I love things my way, and that's okay. So let's stop stressing out about what everybody else is doing, and let's just do our own thing online and do it well. It's not a trade secret, guys, but it's a vital nugget of common sense to either get you started online or to keep you going online. So how would I describe the JSB online personality? Well, much like I describe my offline personality. What you see is what you get. I love learning and teaching in equal measure, and so I share lots of what I know. I work hard, I promote others, and I'm in constant state of thinking, and writing helps me articulate my thoughts and it calms my mind. I'm simply me, I'm JSB. So just be yourself online. Don't be anybody else, because there's only one you, and it's up to you to show it.
Social media tool of the week.
You may have heard me mention that I'm writing my second book at the moment, which is all about social media tools. So it's no surprise this feature, the social media tool that saved my working week, has a regular slot in my podcast. While social media is ubiquitous, social media tools are vital to get the most out of our social media strategies. The tool that saved my working week this week is Meet Edgar, the social media queue that fills itself. I blog a lot, at least twice a week, but as Ian Cleary says, the hard work starts when you have to promote your blog posts and generate traffic to your website. I also have to create other types of content to share across my 10 social networks. Meet Edgar allows me to schedule and manage content on my Facebook profile, Facebook pages, Twitter accounts, LinkedIn profile and LinkedIn company page. I not only publish my most recent posts, I also republish old posts from my blog. I have connected the RSS feed of my blog to Meet Edgar, and so it recognises when a new blog post is published. It also gives me the stats on how each post is performing in terms of engagement, so likes, comments and shares. I also use the tool to publish other types of content to my various social networks, and it filters your content by category, which I love. The categories are my blog posts, inspirational or funny, promotional, questions, tips, and use once. If you are stuck for time scheduling, managing, and measuring your social media activities, why not consider Meet Edgar, or at least take their free trial? Remember, time is money in our business. I pay for their monthly subscription of $49 per month. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of JSB Talks Digital. If you want to read more about what I discussed on the show, log on to digitaltraining.ie and click on podcasts. I'll have links to everything there. If you're interested in becoming a guest on JSB Talks Digital or have an event you want to promote, simply drop me an email to joanne@digitaltraining.ie and write podcast in the subject line. I'm also continuing with my free monthly webinars on Big Marker, the world's biggest webinar community. So check out bigmarker.com/Digital Training Institute. Don't forget you can tweet me at Tweets by JSB and please add me on Snapchat. I'm JSB Snaps. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Without you, I'm simply just talking to myself. I'm Joanne Sweeney Burke and this has been JSB Talks Digital.
JSB Talks Digital.